So this is the first in a number of short videos that we're going to do covering what Mitel Workflow Studio is. And this first video is around the basic introduction to Workflow Studio. So what is Workflow Studio? So it's a visual design tool from Mitel that's just been recently released to the market, and it uses what is known as a low-code / no-code approach to building solutions. And it's primarily used for building, automating and creating custom business workflows and communications logic. And it uses a drag and drop interface, and everything's defined using actions. And it's also worth noting that Workflow Studio is actually included with an active Mitel software assurance license. And Workflow Studio is AI enabled, and this offers both text to speech, and it comes with a number of different voices built into the platform, and it also supports speech recognition. So certainly for IVR, you want to capture speech from a caller, you can then just match that against phrases, words that you put into the system, and you can route flows based on answers that callers give you. So what is low code / no code? Well, Workflow Studio, it allows the creation of flows by simply dragging and dropping actions, and these actions, there's a predefined list of actions within the tool that you can use, and you can use these and connect them up with absolutely no coding knowledge whatsoever, which is the no code part. However, Workflow Studio does also support coding through its series of developer actions. And these include the ability to do processing using JavaScript, and you can also call out to any third-party API that's on the internet, and this is the low-code part of Workflow Studio. Now, Workflow Studio is built around triggers and integrations, so each flow is started with a trigger. So this can either be an inbound call or an API endpoint call, or you can actually trigger it from a third-party application like Twilio or Slack or Zoom. And out of the box, Workflow Studio comes with a number of integrations to third-party solutions. So if we just take a quick look at Workflow Studio, when you load it up, you'll effectively see the dashboard screen, and you'll see some training videos, and then there's a number of flows that we've already built, and it's quite a useful dashboard that shows you how many times those flows are executed. The reason being that you buy flows in blocks of 100, and obviously you can see what your usage is like. We will cover it in more detail, but effectively there's two flow types, Premier and Essential, and this is based on some of the actions. Most of the actions are included under the Essential plan, but some of them, things like using JavaScript, for example, are a Premier action, and that means anytime you use a Premier action, it's going to become a Premier flow. In terms of actions, if we just have a look at the list here, you'll see we've got integrations with third-party applications, and then you've also got stuff like a dial menu, get calendar availability, that's linking out to Outlook. And then we've got integrations with Jira, Twilio, and as you can see, there's lots and lots of pre-built actions there. As I mentioned in the slides, you've got triggers. So a trigger is what starts a flow. So typically you're going to be using either receiving an inbound call, or it's going to be an SMS message. That's typically the first node, if you like, in the flow, which triggers everything else. And then the integrations, so out of the box, these are the integrations that actually come with Workflow Studio, and you can see there's some popular ones there like the Microsoft Office 365 integration, Twilio, and we've also got integration with Google, Salesforce, that sort of thing. And you can use, obviously you set up your integration here to your say for instance your Office 365, and then you can use Office 365 components within your flows. So that's just a really brief introduction to what Workflow Studio is.